Morning once again. It's my dear seniors. And my name is Busola Shogbanimu. I'm the CEO of Mass Care Home here in Lagos, Abule Egba, or should I say here in Abule Egba, Lagos, Nigeria. Okay. And with me, I have my sister, my co-host and co-trainer on elderly care matters. She is a medical doctor by profession, Bonola Akintola. She's also she also provides mental health education for young people, their families, and carers, and relevant organizations as well. So, Wanu, welcome once again.
Thank you. And thank you for all you're doing for the elderly. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much. So today we have been thinking of bringing something that is beneficial to the public, families, carers. Nigerian Seniors is going to be talking a lot about how it benefits not just the seniors, even the families of the seniors and the people providing services to them. And oftentimes in our culture, there's a mix-up of what is exactly the role of a carer. Some people will call, they say, are you an agency? I want somebody to come and look after my mom. I need somebody that's going to be there for 2 or 3 years, doing everything. What is everything? So today we're going to be looking at what is the difference between a house help, because we know in our society, most homes will employ a housekeeper, a house help to manage the affairs of the home. Now that the idea of having a carer to look after somebody else, an elderly person in the home, is that a replacement for the house help? So let's explore. So Wanu, what do you think is the difference between a house help and a carer?
Okay, I mean, growing up, we had house helps as well. So house help could be a maid, it could be male, it could be female. But as the word states, house help, to help in the house. So the primary role of the house help or the housemaid or houseboy will be to attend to things in relating to the care of the house, as against the role of a carer for an elderly person. So I will keep it to an elderly person because, of course, in this forum, we are talking about the elderly, caring for the elderly. So someone who is caring for the elderly, their primary duty is the care of that person they've been taken on to look after. What are the person's needs? And that's why one of the things we look at in the training sessions is a person-centered approach, person-centered care. That's different from caring for the house. Now, as a carer for an elderly person, some of the things you may need to do might involve care of the house because that's part of what the person needs. But it's looking at what the primary role is. So there's a primary role and there might be secondary duties. So for the house help, the primary role is the house. For the elderly person's carer, the primary role is the elderly person and making sure the person's well-being is attended to on a daily basis, and whatever else may pertain to it is secondary.
I think that you've made it very clear. So the care of the elderly, the carer for the elderly is concerned primarily about the health and well-being of the elderly. So it does not mean now that, just like Wanu explained there, anything else that surrounds that regarding the well-being of that person, their person-centered care, primary responsibility is the elderly. So I beg, when we're asking and booking for carers, we're not looking for house help. Let's be clear. A carer is different from a house help. A carer is a professional role. People tend to look down on roles of carers. They tend to look down on them to say it's a dirty job. Someone's got to do every job. Every job is a dirty job. It depends on who's looking down at the end of the day. And You make what you're calling a dirty job is actually a dignifying job because not everybody can do it. So, have you come across, that thought, that school of thought where people look down on care jobs as well?
Oh,
Or not?
definitely, definitely. Definitely, because of some of the things it might entail, like taking care of toileting. An elderly person will need help because they're vulnerable. They're in a position where they can't do things for themselves or certain things. Or let me not say they are, they may be, because not everyone who's elderly may need the same kind of care another person may need. But yes, that it's a role that quite often will require assistance with self-care, what the daily activities for physical well-being. And when you're attending to someone's toileting needs, people may look down at that job. But the truth is, when you're doing that, what you're helping the person to do is preserve their dignity. You're actually also helping their emotional well-being. You're making sure that in spite of the things you're unable to do, it doesn't make you less of a person than anybody else. So you are adding value to lives. And it takes a special kind of heart to be able to add value to lives. So it is, in fact, a very honorable role. It is a dignifying role. And anyone in the role of a carer, whether it's a paid for carer or you're doing it voluntarily for a family member, honest, I applaud you. I say thank you. And no matter what anybody else thinks, remember you're adding value to lives. And I would say God honors that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for clarifying that one. It's a honorable job, and not everyone has the guts to do it. Some people will say, and a lot of people, because of the need to get out of the country, they're going out there. And some, we did say the other time as well that not everybody that has gone through one form of training regarding caregiving will eventually go out, maybe for economic means or resources not there, or maybe you fail something and you're not able to make yourself available to serve within the country. There are many opportunities that are coming up for people to be gainfully employed in this field. There are many agencies sprouting up all over the country. There's increased awareness. Federal government is paying more attention. So there's increased awareness across the nation for the care of the elderly. So make yourself, you're a professional. Be proud of what you do. Not everyone can do it. Be proud of what you do. Get qualified, get trained, get the experience, and hold your head high. And so, yes, we're glad to be able to bring this session to you this morning. And thank you. Join us again as we talk about boundaries in dealing with caregivers. Thank you and God bless. I want to thank you and final words.
Final words. I know everyone we all want a better life. And yes, the caring profession can be tempted. I will just leave you with one word: don't do it. Don't do it. Sorry?
Okay.
Don't do it if your heart is not there.
Right.
It's only a matter of time that it will show. Don't do it because you need to be committed. And if your heart is not there, you can't be committed. Don't do it if you really don't care about the elderly person, because part of what you need to do is to be able to speak up when you see things not going right. If you don't care, you will not speak up. And these are some of the values entrenched in the 6 C's of care: care, commitment, courage, communication. So it's important that if your heart is not there, don't do it. There are other things. So don't set yourself up for failure. It's a matter of time you will fail if you do something your heart is not in. Frustration can end a career. And you don't want to put your hand into something that you knew from the start it wasn't really meant for you. It takes a special heart to be a carer for the elderly. So don't do it.
True, true. It takes a special heart to be a carer for the elderly. So I want to use this note then to say thank you to all of you out there taking care of an older person by visiting, by cleaning after them, by shopping for them, by calling them, by surprising them, whatever it is that you're doing, by taking, I mean, even their medical needs, their emotional needs, having conversation, a smile, a helping hand, standing for them in a queue, in post office, in the bank, anywhere, for everything that you're doing out there. Thank you very much. So, and this is to encourage us all to still continue doing the best that we can. Thank you once again. This is Niger News. Good night.